and welcome to part 2 of the Toystory Ascension campaign video. This part is probably the part everyone will care about. It's the one where I show the strategy in 3-starring the Sensational 6 node and the Big Hero 6 node. I'm not gonna lie, this is, I'd probably say 95 to 99% RNG. The stars must align. There is a strategy to follow, no doubt, but you just need the luck going into it. You obviously need to set yourself up going into the final phase. If for whatever reason you're not set up going into the final phase, it's just going to result in a loss. I mean, the other side of it is you can set yourself up exceptionally well but still be screwed over by the turn meter, the starting turn meter of Sensational 6 or Big Hero 6, so there's just nothing you can do about that. But for the most part, you can get your side right, your side correct, and that's going in with the right strategy, the right spells, and setting yourself up as well as possible going into that final phase. So the team we're going to use is the exact same team. I'm not going to put it on screen. The only difference here is going to be the spells. Now, spell I should say. You're going to basically swap out Fairy Slumber for Headless Horseman. Now, the reason why you want to put Headless Horseman is because you really need to land those silences, and also the fear that you land with Headless Horseman is also going to supercharge Big Baby, who's going to hit much harder. But in any case, I'm going to do it's going to be a slightly different setup for this video. I am going to switch to my recording and then pause my recording and kind of explain little bits because it's just so complicated. In any case, I'm going to switch to the recording now. Okay, so the initial strategy is the same. You are going to, as the other nodes, you're going to want to set yourself up, and you're going to want to allow yourself to be hit. Now, the great thing about just now is these little, I don't know what they are, but these little minions don't hit that hard, but definitely charge your spells, so you can survive a couple of hits from those. What you want to do here is effectively, again, getting hit by these minions. I'm gonna just pause it there. Now, you're not gonna see it in this battle, but when Chunk has haste and it's his turn, if you use his basic, he has a chance to inflict offense down. Offense down is so important against these troopers because these troopers will one-shot. Now, in this particular run, I didn't want to let this trooper have a chance because Lotso had just taken a big chunk of damage from these littler guys, and the little guys are the ones which you can actually survive hits, or at least one hit on these weaker characters in your team. Obviously, if Chunk is taunting you, you are a bit more covered, but the main thing is we're charging the spells here, and we are keeping these guys alive, and Lotso is gonna obviously heal. But anyway, I'll keep the footage going. I choose to kill this soldier here because of Lotso's low health, and then it's just about kind of setting yourself up for that final round. Now, I definitely got lucky here because I went into this final round with Zerg having his turn first, and he also had his passive charge, so that's absolutely huge. You're going to see now that Lotso not getting that kill there, and Chunk somehow taking an additional turn here meant that Zerg is going into this final round with his Iron Blaster passive charge ready. Now, all this additional splash damage, just pause that there, all this additional splash damage here is massive because you really just have to gun them down here. You're going to rely on Zerg and Big Baby massively. Now, I'm lucky going into this phase because of the turn meter. You can see that Zerg is going to go first, then Big Baby, then Lotso, and you're going to see that it's a massive help. So now you're going to use Duke Kaboom here, who's going to land vulnerable on these characters. You need it to land on Baymax. I'm just going to pause again, sorry. You needed it to land it on Baymax. Ideally, it would have landed on Hero and stayed on Hero, but because obviously the splash damage did so much damage, you can effectively one-shot Hero with Zerg Vision, and then do your main attack, your big multi-blaster attack on Baymax and kill him. Now, without this additional damage here, and without the extra G8 pieces that I've got on, that I don't have on Zerg, he wouldn't get one shot. He would go to really low health. So you can see how this splash damage massively helps in this instance, because I'm gonna actually kill Baymax. The reason you have to kill Hero first as well is because if you kill Baymax first, Hero is going to take a turn, probably put up evades. Also, whichever character you kill, it's gonna give Baymax the taunt, and Hero is the most irritating out of the bunch. So Zerg Vision on Hero, and then your multi-blaster on Baymax, and here you see we've got rid of Hero and Baymax from Zerg. Zerg has done his job so far, and now it's time to use the Headless Horseman, which hopefully puts some silences on the field. Unfortunately, we've got Big Baby next, and you're going to see that Big Baby with his main attack does quite a lot of damage, and already we're down to a really weakened team. Now, if just then Zerg had been called out of Hit Honey Lemon, and this would probably gone even smoother, but I can't really complain at this point. I've had it work out really well so far. Again, spells have charged because Go-Go's done heaps of damage, and I'm going to use the Horseman again, and this is it really. It's again, it looks a lot easier than it is, but it's really it's all because of that first Iron Blaster that Zerg set off, and because of the turn order where I was able to have Big Baby go next. So that's the strategy to do the Big Hero 6 node. It's not easy at all. Setting yourself up to go into that final round with Zerg to have his Iron Blaster ready, and also, you know, to be in pole position to take that turn first. It's just not easy to set up, and it's going to take a lot of retries, but that's basically the gist of it. That's how I did it. Headless Horseman is fantastic because being able to silence doesn't mean that Fred and Wasabi can, you know, do big damage, and Yokai isn't able to get out his spires. So that's the strategy with the Big Hero 6 one. Now we're moving on to Sensational 6, and I'm just going to flip back to my gameplay. Okay, so going into this next, easily the hardest mission in all of these Ascension campaign nodes is the Sen 6 one, and again, guys, there's so much RNG at play here, but the general idea is you're going to go in and you're going to want to let the minions have a couple of hits on you in the beginning. I let that one, this one here, take a hit just because I know that Lotso could survive, or any of these guys can survive it. I'm going to let, now that I've got Chunk taunting, I'm going to let that soldier take a big hit on him. Obviously, Chunk has taken a big chunk of damage here, so healing him up, massively beneficial. I now don't really want any of the other characters to take a turn, so, you know, I've got my Duke Kaboom charged. That's the main thing. I feel comfortable going into this last mission. Again, we're going to aim to have Zerg go first. that's really what we need to happen in order for this to work. I can see down at the bottom here that Big Baby's going to take a turn, then it's going to be Bo Peep, and then I think it's going to be Zerg. Obviously Bo Peep doesn't do a heap of much damage, but this is it. So now I've got to this point. I'm just going to pause again. Now the aim here is I'm going to land Duke on Pluto. What's going to happen is it's going to give Donald 2 charges, which means on the next hit he's going to go into Empowered. If you didn't do this, and if Donald didn't have these charges, he can easily just cleanse any kind of debuffs that you put on him. So I'm hitting Pluto here. I then must land a vulnerable on Daisy. If I don't, she's the one that I need to take out first. If I don't, it's just not gonna go. It's not gonna go well. So I'm gonna throw Duke Kaboom here. Hopefully land some vulnerables on the field. Get some charges on Donald, and then able to one-shot Daisy. You can see that Mickey is poised to take a turn. If he takes a turn in this level, it's over. The mass assist is just going to kill at least 2 characters. There's no way you're going to 3-star it. There's no way you're going to probably do it. So Mickey cannot fundamentally take a turn, which means you're going to have this spell down the bottom charged, which you will be able to do with Zerg, because you're going to be able to one-shot someone here. Anyway, I'll show the footage now. So Duke's on the play. I managed to get Minnie out. As you can see, Donald is empowered. Now, this is also huge, is that Zerg just uses his Iron Blast, which is also going to spread out more damage on the field. It's going to make this slightly easier. And it's charged my Headless Horseman. You're going to need to use that I'm going to use it on the front row here. I'm just going to stop it there again. This situation is so ideal. Now, obviously, there is a chance to land Silence and Fear. It's not going to happen every time, but to land it on all of them in the front row, you must get it landed on Mickey at least. Minnie is also ideal, so she doesn't throw the cake for humongous damage or charm, and it's just a bonus that it landed on Donald. Next up, I'm just basically going to take out Pluto. I was deciding whether to take out Donald or Pluto here, but because Pluto had the vulnerable, it made sense to take him out. Now we're in a really good spot here. I've put Fear down. Sorry, I keep pausing it, but it's really important to explain what's going on here. Lotso's mass assist puts a lot of fear on the field, which means that Big Baby can do a big hit. But in any case, really important to land the fear. I've also got a counter attack stack on Goofy, which I'll use later. Chunk survived by the skin of his teeth. And this is the reason why Fear is so great with Big Baby. He just absolutely wrecks with the additional offense. So really useful to have Fear on the field, which you've got with Headless Horseman as well, and obviously with the mass assist from Lotso. Chunk is really low, but I'm gonna stop here one more time. At the end of this, I'll let the footage play out, but I wanted to explain what's gonna happen next and why it's so important. It's Lotso's turn. I choose to attack Goofy with his counter stack. What happens then is that Goofy comes back and hits Lotso like 5 or 6 times, which then supercharges everyone here with Turn Meter. and you can see all the turn meter rise. And yeah, it's at this point I really want to take out Donald. I'm deciding whether to use Duke or not. I hadn't come this close, so you can obviously tell that I was a bit nervous. Also, Mickey is quite high on his turn meter. In any case, I threw Duke out. Didn't want to hit Mickey, so just went aim for Donald. And at this point, you know, I've landed the fear and the silence again, but it's really about taking out Minnie and then finishing up on Mickey. So there's so many variables in this level. It's insane. It's incredibly difficult and so much RNG involved, but you can see it's possible. You just have to land those debuffs. You have to land vulnerable. You have to land fear. You have to land silence in order to supercharge Big Baby, in order to be able to one shot with Zerg and to stop them from taking turns. It's horrendous 2 levels, and it took me so many attempts, so many retries, and hours of trying to get it right and trying to execute the strategy that I needed to and that I thought would work. And this obviously does. There might be other ways to do this, guys. I'm not claiming this is the only way. I'm claiming it's the only way I've been able to do it because of the characters I've got. I don't have Buzz or Woody or Bo Peep even leveled like to Gear 8 to mess about with it further there. So if you've got any questions, you've got any comments or things you want to say, please leave them in the comment section. You can reach out to me in Discord. I really hope you enjoyed the video. I'm sorry for stopping it so many times. If you, as I say, got any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Please like and subscribe. I really would appreciate it. It helps with the YouTube algorithm. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next video.